Thanks, Dan. Let me start with a question. Do you know what industry employs the most people in the state of North Carolina? According to the State Employment Security Commission records, it's government. That's right. There's a larger percentage of people who work for government than work in healthcare, work in sales, work in manufacturing, or work in agriculture. And that alone should tell you that there's something wrong. And that's why I'm here today. My name is John Szoka, and I'm running for the North Carolina House of Representatives in District 22. District 22 is the southern, about third of Cumberland County. Right now, we're right in the middle of that, and all of Bladen County. And I'd like to introduce you to my family, but they're not here today, and I'm going to tell you why. My wife, Laurie, many of you know her. She's a nurse practitioner, and her patients see her. They schedule their appointments 6 to 8 weeks out, and we didn't really have this date settled till the day, and it's not really fair to patients in their quest for quality care, which they receive from Laurie, to change all those appointments and reschedule them. So that's why she's not here. I have a son who's 24 years old named Hunter. He's not going to be here because he's in Kansas City. He's 24, graduated from college, and he owns his own life insurance agency. And my daughter, 21, Morgan, she's not going to be here either today. She's a full-time college student, and she also has full-time employment. And she actually works for me, and if I'm here, somebody has to be back there to mind the shop. So Morgan's not here either, but you'll be able to go to the website and see pictures of them if you don't already know them. But as I said, I'm here today because I believe that there's something wrong in the state of North Carolina. Frankly, it's broken and it needs fixing. And if you haven't figured it out, I'm not a politician. I'm a veteran, I'm a small businessman, I'm a family man, but I have reached the point where I cannot stand by any longer, see the things that are going on, and not make some effort to change it for the better, for both our state and for our country. I believe that we need to get government off the backs of regular folks like you and me. We need to lower taxes, and we need to reduce the size of government, and that will unleash small businesses to create jobs, and that's what's going to get the economy going again. You know, this whole national economic meltdown and President Obama's schemes to fix it that have cost us billions and billions of dollars, to me personally that was shocking. What a lot of folks here in North Carolina don't know, that what's going on in the General Assembly is even worse than what's going on at the national level. Even though we're sinking deeper into recession, the liberal Democrats in charge in the State House have raised taxes across the board. And North Carolina is unique in this. There's this foundation, it's called the Tax Foundation, a nonprofit organization that examined 5 major taxes and rating state tax increases across the country. They looked at individual income taxes, they looked at sales taxes, taxes on cigarettes, on alcohol, and the so-called Amazon taxes, which are those taxes on your internet purchases. And North Carolina was #1 in the country in raising taxes, by far. Second place was New Jersey, of all places, and they only raised 3. So I don't think that's really a distinction to hold out there that we're #1 in raising taxes. The rest of the 48 states, the most that they raised in any of those categories was just 2. And the Tax Foundation also said that North Carolina had the worst business climate in the Southeast. And does anybody wonder why we're over 11% unemployment with all that going on? Now, what the liberal Democrats have done, instead of cutting unnecessary funding on unnecessary projects, they've continued to spend like there's no tomorrow. I think everybody in here has probably heard of the fishing pier that's being built out at Nags Head. It costs $25 million of taxpayer dollars. And at a time when we're in a recession, when we're cutting money for teachers, when they're cutting money for health care for the elderly and the disabled, we're building a $25 million fishing pier so Senator Mark Bass Knight can go fish. In my opinion, that's political arrogance at its worst, and I think it's got to stop. I believe the voters in this year's election have a very important choice to make. They and you can continue to vote for things going down this road we're on, which is a creeping liberalism and socialism which will eventually ruin this state and this country, or you can vote to reform government and get things done right. You can vote for words and the promises of the past, or you can vote for action. As I said, I'm really not a politician. I'm just a guy who believes in our way of life in this great country of ours. I've served my country. I've raised a family here in Cumberland County. And in a sense, I'm really living the American dream. I own my own small business. Someday it's not that good, but when it really gets down to it, it is living the dream. And I enjoy it. And it creates jobs for people here in this district. So how do we get out of this mess? It's to lower taxes. It's to reduce the size of government, reduce government intrusion in our daily and our business lives. And let's unleash that American spirit of opportunity that's going to get small businesses going and the economy back on track. And that's why I'm running. I hope to have your support. And if you live in the district, I hope to have your vote. If you're a Republican this May, if you're not a Republican, at least I would hope to have your vote in November. We'll be talking about other issues as the campaign progresses, and I do have a website. Should be up sometime by the weekend, if not then by Monday or Tuesday. It's Szoka for nchouse.com, and that's why I put my name up here, because it is spelled a little bit differently than folks around here are used to looking at. But please go to the website when it's up. I'd like your support, and I'd like your vote. And thank you very much for coming today.